out to get even better. Again, we're broadcasting live here from Atlanta, Georgia, Studio 816B with Internet Fabulous Television. And we're excited to bring you another incredible. Again, we're broadcasting live here from Atlanta, Georgia, Studio 816B with Internet Fabulous Television. And we're excited to bring you another incredible guest with some incredible wisdom, insight as it relates to money. Tonight's theme is the making of a godly millionaire. Now, of course, we all have heard the adage that money can't make you happy. And it's absolutely true. But I guarantee you this, there's some things that you can do with money more so than you can do without money. And I do believe it's part of God's, I'll say, covenant package that you can do with money more so than you can do without money. And I do believe it's part of God's, I'll say, covenant package that we have more than enough to get not just through this life. It's part of God's, I'll say, covenant package that we have more than enough to get not just through this life, but to flourish and then be able to bless somebody else. I guess I can definitely enough to get not just through this life, but to flourish and then be able to bless somebody else. So I guess tonight can definitely speak very well to these particular topics. As we kind of jump in and go along in the evening, we just want to invite you in to the conversation. So a couple of ways, particular topics. As we kind of jump in and go along in the evening, we just want to invite you in to the conversation. So a couple of ways that we're able to do that. Right there, you'll see on the screen that you're looking at right now, in to the conversation. So a couple of ways that we're able to do that. Right there, you see on the screen that you're looking at right now, tap over to the right of the video screen. It says chat. So you can kind of jump on there, actually post your comment. We'll be able to see those, incorporate those questions and comments in the video screen that says chat. So you kind of jump on there and actually post your comments, and we'll be able to see those and incorporate those questions and comments into the show. You also see two tabs there that says Facebook and Twitter. So again, you can find us to see those and incorporate those questions and comments into the show. You also see two tabs there that says Facebook and Twitter. So again, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. Again, definitely interact and engage with us there. Again, we'll be monitoring those different social media platforms. Again, so if you have questions or comments, feel free to actually jump in and make your voice heard, respectfully, of course, to do that. Also, right below the video screen, you'll see an option to send us a note, jump in and make your voice heard, respectfully, of course, to do that. Also, right below the video screen, you'll see an option to send us a note or send yourself a note. You definitely want to capture what's going to be presented below the video screen. You'll see an option to send us a note or send yourself a note. You definitely want to capture what's going to be presented tonight. So take advantage of the tools right in front of you. As you hear something that kind of jumps out at you, type it right in there, and then you send it to yourself. Or again, if you have a question for us, the tools that are right in front of you, as you hear something that kind of jumps out at you, type it right in there, and then you can send it to yourself. Or again, if you have a question for us, please feel free to use the send note option, and we'll get it, and we'll be able to respond. Type it right in there, and then you can send it to yourself. Or again, if you have a question for us, please feel free to use the send note option, and we'll get it. And again, we'll be able to respond to it within this show. So again, we're very excited for what's going to take place in the note option, and we'll be able to respond to it within the show. So again, we're very excited for what's going to take place tonight again, with our special guest. I won't spoil it yet. You have to come back after this quick break, and then I'll introduce him. But again, guest won't spoil it yet. That means you have to come back after this quick break, and then I'll introduce him. But again, please engage, connect, post this link on Facebook, Passion, and then I'll introduce him. But again, please engage, connect, post this link on Facebook, PassionAction.tv. Let people know on Twitter. Tonight is the place you want to be. You could be doing a whole lot of other things, but if you want to get enriched, empowered, inspired, expand Twitter, tonight is the place you want to be. You could be doing a whole lot of other things, but if you want to get enriched, empowered, inspired, expanded in how you think about wealth and about money, tonight, again, is the place. Enriched, empowered, inspired, expanded in how you think about wealth and about money, tonight, again, is the place that you want to be in. Again, as I said before, if you saw some of us earlier, don't be selfish about it. Go tell somebody else so they can jump on too. Again, we're excited to be able to offer this opportunity for you to experience this with us. And so again, we'll also have some special offers that'll be coming down the line later on in the show tonight. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But for right now, we're going to take a quick, I'll also have some special offers that'll be coming down the line later on in the show tonight, but I'll talk about it a little bit later. But for right now, we're going to take a quick break. But as soon as we come back, I'm going to introduce my guest to you. Again, the making of godly millionaires, what we're talking about tonight. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr. You're watching Passion and Action TV. We'll be right back after these brief messages.
BrotherOnline.com. Next empowers and inspires Black Christian men. Connect with us, 716-239-4370.
Talk about that a little bit later. But for right now, we'll take a quick break. But as soon as we come back, I'm going to introduce my guest to you. Again, making a godly millionaire, what we're talking about tonight. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr. You're watching Passion and Action TV. We'll be right back after these brief messages. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr. You're watching Passion and Action TV. We'll be right back after these brief messages. Messages.
PowerOnline.com connects, empowers, and inspires Black Christian men. Connect with us 716-239-4370. Black Christian men. Connect us 716-239-4370.
There was no limit to
4370.
if there was no limit to how far your dreams could take you. How big would your life be? How big would your life be? The time is now. Start living a bold. The time is now. Start living a bold, innovative, God-inspired life. It is now. Start living a bold, innovative, God-inspired life. Are you ready to ride your life? Dream big in 3. Are you ready for the ride of your life? Dream Big in 3 days by Paul Wilson Jr.
Welcome back to Passion in Action. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr. Welcome back to Passion in Action. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr. And again, we're so excited to have you on with us tonight. And we want to welcome back to Passion in Action. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr. Again, we're so excited to have you on with us tonight. Again, we want to welcome you if this is your very first time and say welcome back if you have watched some of our previous shows. And of course, you'll have the opportunity to want to welcome you if this is your very first time and say welcome back if you have watched some of our previous shows. And of course, you'll have the opportunity to watch this show on demand at your leisure once this show is over tonight, once it's recorded. And then also actually tomorrow around 12 p.m. Actually, we're going to rebroadcast this show at your leisure once this show is over tonight, once it's recorded. And then also actually probably tomorrow around 12 p.m. Actually, we're going to rebroadcast this show tomorrow 12 as well as next Monday at 7 p.m. again in its entirety. So you have tomorrow around 12 p.m. Actually, we're going to rebroadcast the show tomorrow at 12 as well as next Monday at 7 p.m. again in its entirety. So you have the opportunity again to kind of reconvene, maybe another group of people together to come back and watch at 7 p.m. again in its entirety. So you have the opportunity again to kind of reconvene, maybe get another group of people together to come back and watch the show. Also, again, as I was encouraging you right before the break, again, there's a chat feature that you can submit questions as well as Facebook and Twitter. You can hit us up there. As well, again, I was encouraging you right before the break. Again, there's a chat feature that you can submit questions as well as Facebook and Twitter. You can hit us up there. As well as, again, you can send us a note. That way, again, we'll incorporate your questions and comments into the show. Facebook, Twitter, you can hit us up there. As well as, again, you can send us a note. That way, again, we'll incorporate your questions and comments into the show. And the last thing I'll say before I introduce our guest, you'll see the opportunity to subscribe to the Passion Action newsletter, right below the video. First, I'll just put this out here for guests. You'll see the opportunity to subscribe to the Passion Action newsletter, right below the video. I'll just put this out here right now. The first subscription that we see come in tonight at video. I'll just put this out here for right now. The first subscription that we see come in tonight, actually, you can get a free book. In addition to the other resources that you'll get some downloads, but actually going to give a free book out tonight. And you just saw Commercial Dream Big. In addition to the other resources that you get some downloads, but actually we're going to give a free book out tonight. And you just saw the Commercial Dream Big in 3D. So we're going to bless you with that for the first person again who subscribes tonight to the free book out tonight. Again, you saw the Commercial Dream Big in 3D. So we're going to bless you with that for the first person again who subscribes tonight to the Passion in Action newsletter. All right. So without further ado, I want to introduce someone who actually, the first time we met, it was over a plate of pancakes. So, without further ado, I want to introduce someone who actually, first time we met, it was over a plate of pancakes. And so I've definitely had the pleasure of meeting Paul D. Jones in person. The first time we met, it was over a plate of pancakes. So I've definitely had the pleasure of meeting Paul D. Jones in person. And those are some good pancakes that we enjoyed that night. But the conversation was even better of meeting Paul D. Jones in person. And those are some good pancakes that we enjoyed that night. But the conversation was even better. And I'll tell you a little bit about it. I'll introduce him. Definitely as an inspirational and motivational speaker. He's an author of Who Told You That You Were Broke? You got to remember about who you're listening to. So he talks a lot about mentality and mindset we have to be successful in life and financially. He's also the author of the DD series, What You and Your Kids Need to Know About Credit. Somebody said the other day, the difference between the rich and the poor is information. how much information you have access to, and then what you do with it. And so again, that book definitely is needed. Inspirational and motivational speaker. He's an author of Who Told You That You Were Broke. You got to remember who you're listening to. So he talks a lot about the mentality and the mindset we have to be successful, that you were broke. You got to remember about who you're listening to. So he talks a lot about mentality and mindset we have to be successful in life and financially. He's also the author of the DVD series, What Mentality and the Mindset That We Have to be successful in life and financially. He's also the author of the DVD series, What You and Your Kids Need to Know About Credit. Heard someone say the other day, also the author of the DVD series, What You and Your Kids Need to Know About Credit. Heard someone say the other day, the difference between the rich and poor is information. How much information you have access to and what you do with it. And so again, that book definitely is needed for parents and information. How much information you have access to and then what you do with it. And so again, that book definitely is needed for parents and their children. Published in many magazines. He has a weekly segment of each. Again, that book definitely is needed for parents and children. Published in many magazines. He has a weekly segment of an e-zine called Paulie's Team, as well as a recipient of the Entrepreneur of the Year Award. And most, he has a weekly segment of an e-zine called Paulie's Team, as well as a recipient of the Entrepreneur of the Year Award and Most Inspiring Speaker Award. Of course, he's been very successful in business, becoming a millionaire. Let him tell you that story. But without any award for us, he's been very successful in business, becoming a millionaire. Let him tell you the story. But without any further ado, I want to welcome to the Passion Action tonight my very special guest, Paul D. Jones. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, Paul, how are you doing tonight?
To the Passion and Action tonight, my very special guest, Paul D. Jones. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, Paul, how are you doing tonight?
I am great. Even better now to talk to you again.
That's right. Listen, it's good to see you. Good to hear you tonight.
And I am great. Even better now get to talk to you again.
That's right. Well, it's good to see you. Good to hear you. And we enjoyed the pancakes too.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And Southfield.
That's right. Well, it's good to see you. Good to hear you. And we enjoyed the pancakes too.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And Southfield, Detroit area. So
right.
so definitely, and we'll just jump right in, man, because of course a lot of people want to know, how did you become a millionaire? How did you get to the, so definitely, we'll just jump right in, man. Of course, a lot of people want to know, how did you become a millionaire? How did you get to that point where God blessed you in business and grew?
In general, how I did it.
How did you get to that point where God blessed you in business and you grew it?
In general, how I did it was, first of all, it was a desire I wanted to buy a house.
Okay.
So there wasn't a goal to say, hey, I'm going to become a millionaire. It was a goal to say, I need to buy a home. The desire I wanted to buy a house. Okay. So there wasn't a goal to say, hey, I want to become a millionaire. It was a goal to say, I need to buy a home. Okay. Period. Right. Many of you have heard of a saying called debt to income ratio. A millionaire, it was a goal to say, I need to buy a home. Okay. Period. Right. Many of you have heard of a saying called debt to income ratio. See, I went to school, did everything that everyone tells us to. Go to school, get an education, get a good job. My wife has a bachelor's in nursing and a bachelor's degree in Spanish. That everyone tells us to do. Go to school, get an education, get a good job. My wife has a bachelor's in nursing and a bachelor's degree in Spanish. I have my degree in business and, get a good job. My wife has a bachelor's in nursing and a bachelor's degree in Spanish. I have my degree in business. And, we both working. It was school loans. It was the credit card debt and all the other debt. Right. I have my degree in business. And, we both were working. It was the school loans. It was the credit card debt and all the other debt that was holding us back to get up this little small one-bedroom apartment. Okay. And literally that need came. And that's why a lot of the listening audience tonight, I didn't work for money. I worked for a home. I worked so hard to get that home. I had to do something, as some say, think out the box. Right. Well, I started working in home business. Okay. Those things, people say, those things don't work. Right. The only time I realized those things that don't work are people who say it and people who don't work. Right. It's just simply that. Absolutely. And when I got started with a company, I really just did direct sales, work from home. I knew how much money I needed to work, and I realized it was a numbers game. Right. The difference is I love my wife and I love my daughter that much. Okay. And I wanted to loan. It was the credit card debt and all the other debt that was holding us back to get out of this little small one-bedroom apartment. Okay. And literally that need came. That's why with a lot of the listening audience tonight, I didn't work for money. I worked for a home. But I came. That's why with a lot of the listening audience tonight, I didn't work for money. I worked for a home. But I worked so hard to get that home, and I had to do something, as some say, think out the box. Right. Well, I started working in a home business. Okay. One of those things, people say, those things, and I had to do something, as some say, think out the box. Right. Well, I started working in a home business. Okay. One of those things, people say, those things don't work. Right. The only time I realized those things that don't work are people who say that people don't work. Home business. Okay. Those things that people say, those things don't work. Right. The only time I realized those things that don't work are people who say that people don't work. Right. It's just simply that. Absolutely. And when I got started with a company, I really just direct those things that don't work are people who say that people who don't work. Right. It's just simply that. Absolutely. And when I got started with a company, I really just direct sales, work from home. I knew how much money I needed to work, and I realized it was a numbers game. Right. The difference is I love my wife and I love my daughter that much. So I knew how much money I needed to work. I realized it was a numbers game. Right. The difference is I love my wife and love my daughter that much.
Okay.
I wanted to provide a great lifestyle for them. Well, one of the stuff is I love my wife, I love my daughter that much.
Okay.
I wanted to provide a great lifestyle for them. Well, once I started working, I realized that everything was working perfect. It was because I really had a work ethic in the first place. So in working this business, within 2.5, 3 years of doing this, I made my first $1 million. But I always let people know it was still working. And it was the fact I wanted to provide a home for my family first. And I learned credit. And this is what I want everybody to understand. I learned credit 3 years doing this. I made my first $1 million. But I always let people know it was still working. And it was the fact that I wanted to provide a home for my family first. And I learned credit. And this is what I want everybody to understand. I learned credit at this point. Keep in mind, at this time in my life, I learned credit. And this is what I want everybody to understand. I learned credit at this point. Now, keep in mind, at this time in my life, I was already 27 years old. So I was living paycheck to paycheck. I did everything right with society had told us to. My wife did everything right with society had told us. So I was living paycheck to paycheck. I did everything right with society told us. My wife did everything right with society had told her to do it well. So we're young, educated with the modern day Huxtables. I would tell people had told us to. My wife did everything right with society had told her to do as well. So we're young, educated with the modern day Huxtables. I would tell people. But when it came down to buying a home, I went to that bank. And it wasn't because we didn't have the income. It was because we had too much debt. So I went to that bank. And it wasn't because we didn't have the income. It was because we had too much debt. So I had to eliminate the debt, which I did. I bought the home. Once I bought the house, I realized that I did debt. So I had to eliminate the debt, which I did. And I bought the home. Once I bought the house, and I realized that I did what most people said could be done. That's really activating on my faith, because a lot of people around me said, you know, Paul, thing like this doesn't work. Well, people know that's really activating on my faith, because a lot of people around me said, you know, Paulie, things like this doesn't work. Well, people with no faith will always tell you what doesn't work. Once you activate your faith, you'll find out through God what really works. And that's people with no faith will always tell you what doesn't work. Once you activate your faith, you'll find out through God what really works. And that's the only voice I heard was God's word saying, keep going, son. This is a promise to you. Go ahead and do it. There you go.
That's powerful. In a nutshell, as he wraps that up in a nice little bow. But I'll kind of touch on a few points that you mentioned. You said you made your first $1 million in 2.5. But I'll just kind of touch on a few points that you mentioned. You said you made your first $1 million in 2.5 to 3 years.
Yes, sir.
That sounds incredible to me. Talk a little bit about first $1 million, 2.5 to 3 years.
Yes, sir.
That sounds incredible to me. Talk a little bit about the process. The mindset you had to have, and just work through that and some of the things that you did.
Well, number one, I'll tell everyone, I have a lot of credit to my wife. Because if I didn't have her support, so I'm telling wives, I'm telling husbands, also, it took a team to do it. I did work, yes, but she still, I'm telling the husbands, also, it took a team to do it. I did the work, yes. She still was at home taking care of my daughter and allowing me the freedom to go out and do the work. Now, I did the work, yes. But she still was at home taking care of my daughter and allowing me the freedom to go out and do the work. Now, as I was doing the work, fellas, I was actually really working. And that really separated the boys from the men as far as with my story. I was actually really working. And that's really what separated the boys from the men as far as with my story. I really now did the work. It's a work ethic. I always, Paul, had a work ethic. The boys from men as far as with my story. I really went out and did the work. It's a work ethic. I had always, Paul, had a work ethic. When I was 8, 9, 10 years old, I was shoveling snow. So my first business at 8 years old was a snow shoveling business. Back in 8 and 19 years old, I was shoveling snow. So my first business at 8 years old was a snow shoveling business. Back in Beloit, my mother, boy, she's a wonderful woman. She would wake me up before with snow shoveling business. Back in Beloit, my mother, boy, she's a wonderful woman. She would wake me up at 4:35 a.m. in the morning. She'd let me know snow because that's what I want her to do. Boy, she's a wonderful woman. She would wake me up at 4:35 a.m. in the morning and she'd let me know it's snow because that's what I want her to do. I had already, I realized this. If you want to get clients, go out and get the clients when it's not snowing. Now, this is an 8-year-old. I would go door to door and I would say, I want to get clients. Go out and get clients when it's not snowing. Now, this is an 8-year-old. So I would go door to door and I would say, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so, it's not snowing. Now, this is an 8-year-old. So I would go door to door and I would say, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so, when it snows, can I just come and do your walk? And when I got out of school, I'll come and collect. And they would say, yes, Paul. That's what they call me, like being Paul. So they would let me walk. And when I get out of school, I'll come and collect. And they would say, yes, Paul. That's what they call me, back being Paul. So they would let me do that. So when it was snow, I would jump up off the bed like a fireman with my boots on. So they would let me do that. So when it was snow, I would jump up out bed like a fireman with my boots and everything sitting by the side of the bed because I knew it was time for me to go make some money. I would jump out of bed like a fireman with my boots and everything sitting beside the bed because I knew it was time for me to go and make some money. Right. So I would go and shovel and shovel and shovel. Then I would make it to school on time. And it would be fun because some friends in school would be saying, hey, Paulie, when we get out of school and shovel, then I would make it to school on time. And it would be funny because some friends in school would be saying, hey, Paulie, once we get out of school, it snowed like, want to come this to go shovel walks. Right. They realized I'd already gone out because I'd already saying, hey, Paulie, once we got to school, it snowed like, you want to come with us to go shovel walks. Right. They didn't realize I'd already done it because I'd already shoveled other walks. Right. So therefore, one thing I want people to realize when I say work ethic is very important. They didn't realize I'd already done it because I'd already shoveled all the walks. Right. So therefore, one thing I want people to realize when I say work ethic is very important. When it came to Christmas, my mother asked me what I wanted for Christmas. Okay. Well, everybody went to little Atari games. Just back then, we had Atari. Right. You know, everybody went to those games. They wanted, the little racetracks. And everybody wanted the little Atari games. Yes, back then we had Atari. Right. Everybody wanted those games. They wanted, the little racetracks. And yes, I wanted that stuff too. But I told my mother, I said, Mama, if you can just give me a snowblower, I know I can do more walks and make more money. So at 9 years old, what I got for Christmas was a snowblower. But when you guys had on those games, they wanted, little racetracks. And yes, I wanted that stuff too. I told my mother, I said, Mom, if you can get me a snowblower, I know I can do more walks and make more money. So at 9 years old, but I told my mother, I said, Mom, if you can just get me a snowblower, I know I can do more walks and make more money. So at 9 years old, what I got for Christmas was a snowblower. But what you guys have to understand from and make more money. So at 9 years old, what I got for Christmas was a snowblower. But what you guys have to understand, from there, I was able to make the money because we were in low income anyway. It's just Mama, so bless her heart. It was just her, she did the best she could. But I was able to pull my weight money because we were in low income anyway. It was just Mama, so bless her heart. It was just her, she did the best she could. But I was able to pull my weight and I was able to live as if we weren't struggling because I went out and worked for her. It was just her, she did the best she could. But I was able to pull my weight and I was able to live as if we weren't struggling because I went out and worked for it legally.
That's powerful. One point that you mentioned in there, and I think for many people, in life and especially in business, you said you went and got clients before it snowed. The word kind of popped into my mind was be proactive versus procrastinating, which what your friends were doing before it snowed. The word that kind of popped into my mind was being proactive versus procrastinating, which what your friends were doing in somewhat when they would go shovel snow after school. Talk about that versus procrastinating, which what friends were doing in somewhat when they would go shovel after school. Talk about that mindset of proactivity versus procrastination.
Well, really what it is, most people function by reacting to something that's going on. But I can tell you, what it is, most people function by reacting to something that's going on. I can tell you this, with your car, one day you're going to have a flip to something that's going on. But I can tell you this, with your car, one day you're going to have a flat tire. Right. So you need to store up the money to fix the flat now. Right. You're going to run out of gas, so you need to store up the money to put gas in your car. So most people the flat now. Right. You're going to run out of gas, so you need to store up the money to put gas in your car. So most people are making decisions based on the reaction of life happening. Life is going to happen anyway. So therefore, I realized this, and I said, well, most people are going to react fast. So you need to store up money to put gas in your car. So most people are making decisions based on the reaction of life happening. Life is going to happen anyway. So therefore, I realized this, and I said, well, most people are going to react to the snow, but I want to be proactive. And I want to go out when everybody else is out playing around and doing whatever. I want to be out knocking on doors and saying, I want to be proactive. And I want to go out when everybody else is out playing around and doing whatever. I want to be out knocking on doors and saying, when it snows. So therefore, anyone who went to those homes, they would whatever. I want to be out knocking on doors and saying, when it snows. So therefore, anyone that went to those homes, they already tell them, no police coming to do it. Well, likewise, in the business life today, I don't wait. We just hit August. Okay. I'll tell everyone right now, you already know Christmas is coming December 25th. Yep. So therefore, don't wait till you see advertisements. Do it. Well, likewise, in business life today, I don't wait. We just hit August. Okay. Right. I'll tell everyone right now, you already know Christmas is coming December 25th. Yep. So therefore, don't wait till you see the advertisement. Start working and putting up your Christmas now. December 25th. Yep. So therefore, don't wait till you see the advertisements. Start working and putting up for your Christmas now. So therefore, when Christmas gets here, while you see some stressing, trying to get the second job, do all these things at the last minute because they did not plan. Or as I wrote in my, while you see some stressing, trying to get the second job, do all these things at the last minute because they did not plan. Or as I wrote in my book, Schedule for Success. Then now they're working based off of emotions. Whenever you do something at the last minute, you're more prone to make the wrong decision versus make the right decision. So you always have to just be at peace. As Jesus said when the storm was going on, peace, be still. Because he already knew he was going to make it. So he was walking in expectation. So therefore, that's what I do. So I will encourage everyone. Nation will 100% of the time kill your dreams. You have to eliminate any opportunity to make an excuse or procrastinate, because that's going to destroy the terms of your own personal success or your own personal agreement with God. See, you void because they did not plan, or I wrote a book schedule for success. Then now they're working based off of emotions. Whenever you do something at the last minute, you're more prone to make the wrong decision versus make the right decision. So you always have to just be at peace. As Jesus said when the storm was going on, peace, be still. Because he already knew he was going to make it. So he was walking in expectation. So therefore, that's what I do. So I will encourage everyone. Nation will 100% of the time kill your dreams. You have to eliminate any opportunity to make an excuse or procrastinate, because that's going to destroy the terms of your own personal success or your own personal agreement with God. See, you void your warranty with God when you say, Lord, bless me to get whatever. He's going to trust you, have faith, and say, all right, the door, the path, faith. Now it is your own action. And we say there's a super and there's a natural. Which you in the natural realm must be in agreement with the super realm. So therefore, you get the supernatural blessing. But because he already knew he was going to make it. So he was walking in expectation. So therefore, that's what I do. So I will encourage everyone. Nation will 100% of the time kill you. So therefore, that's what I do. So I'll encourage everyone. Permission will 100% of the time kill your dreams. You have to eliminate any opportunity to make an excuse or procrastinate, because that's what's going to destroy the terms of your own personal success. Or any opportunity to make an excuse or procrastinate, because that's what's going to destroy the terms of your own personal success or your own personal agreement with God. See, you void your warranty with God when you say, Lord, bless me own personal success or your own personal agreement with God. See, you void your warranty with God when you say, Lord, bless me to get whatever. He's going to trust you, have faith, and say, all right, the door, the warranty with God when you say, Lord, bless me to get whatever. He's going to trust you, have faith, and say, all right, the door, the path is paved. Now it is your own actions. As we see, there's a super and there's a natural. The door, the path is paved. Now it is your own actions. As we see, there's super and there's a natural. What you do in the natural realm must be in agreement with super realm. But therefore, you get the supernatural blessing. But it's all through faith, but faith by action, faith by walks, not just by talk. That's the supernatural blessing. But it's all through faith, but faith by action, faith by walks, not just by talk.
That's a good word. Faith walks, not just talks. I like it. And it also reminds me of a quote. I believe Dave Ramsey, I don't know if he came up with it, someone said, you got to be willing to do what others won't. And it also reminds me of a quote. I believe Dave Ramsey, I don't know if he came up with it, someone said, you got to be willing to do what others won't right now, so that later on you can do what others can't. And I just, you told me about asking for a snowblower for Christmas, others won't right now, so later on you can do what others can't. And I just, when you talk about, asking for a snowblower for Christmas, I wonder how many of us, make decisions based on, when you talk about, asking for a snowblower for Christmas, I wonder how many of us, make decisions based on, I'm going to ask for the thing or do the thing, make the sacrifice for a thing that nobody else wants to do now, because everyone maybe want comfort, convenience now, because I'm not thinking about now, I'm thinking about 5, 10 for the thing that nobody else wants now, because everyone, they want comfort and convenience now, because I'm thinking about now, I'm thinking about 5, 10, 20 years down the line. Again, talk about that mindset of thinking beyond the now, because I'm not thinking about now, I'm thinking about 5, 10, 20 years down the line. Again, talk about that mindset of thinking beyond the now, into the future, and then make decisions based on that type of thought process.
Not a problem. One thing that I encourage everyone to do is actually have
and making decisions based on that type of thought process.
Not a problem. One thing that I encourage everyone to do is actually have a written out goal. Your goal may be a dream, but dreams are what you get when you sleep. So now that you're awake, you want that dream to become a reality. So you have to write that out, and then you have to believe it and have faith in it. Sometimes you can't share all your dreams and your goals with other people, because they may not believe in you or see you succeed at the level. But when you know you're going to succeed, and it's something truly I encourage everyone to do, is actually have a written out goal. Your goal may be a dream, but dreams are what you get when you sleep. So now that you're awake, you want that dream to become a reality. So you dream, but dreams are what you get when you sleep. So now that you're awake, you want that dream to become a reality. So you have to write that out, and then you have to believe it and have faith in it. Sometimes you can't share all your dreams and your goals with other people, because they may not believe. You have to believe it and have faith in it. Sometimes you can share all of your dreams and goals with other people, because they may not believe in you or see you to succeed at that level. But when you know your goals with other people, because they may not believe in you or see you to succeed at that level. But when you know you're going to succeed, and it's something you truly believe in, your actions must line up at that level. But when you know you're going to succeed, and it's something you truly believe in, your actions must line up. So that's really all we're doing. And we're saying, you know what? I know what I want. I know what tomorrow, what I want tomorrow to look like. Everything that I'm doing right now is designed to make sure we're saying, you know what? I know what I want. I know what tomorrow, what I want tomorrow to look like. everything that I'm doing right now is designed to make sure that my tomorrow is better. But we hear this. I'm only speaking with many pastors I'm doing right now is designed to make sure that my tomorrow is better. But we hear this. I'm only speaking what many pastors have said. It's what you do today. Your actions today is what shapes your tomorrow. So therefore, if you have godly thoughts with real actions, then tomorrow you're going to live a godly life. Therefore, if you have godly thoughts with real actions, then tomorrow you're going to live a godly life from your real actions. But if you have ungodly thoughts with no action, then tomorrow you get those same results. So people have to really live in real actions. Then tomorrow you're going to live a godly life from your real actions. But if you have ungodly thoughts with no action, then tomorrow you get those same results. So people have to really live in the real world. And when I say about the real world, is seeing what is possible and then going for what some say is impossible. See, the real world is seeing what is possible and then going for what some say is impossible. See, they didn't think that a young guy come from Rockford, Illinois, and Beloit, Wisconsin, what some say is impossible. See, they didn't think that a young guy coming from Rockford, Illinois, and Beloit, Wisconsin would one day be able to look at folks and say, wow, I made millions all before I was 30 years old. You know, that's a difference. And to be able to say, this is how I did it legally, you know, at 30 years old, you know, that's a difference. And to be able to say, but this is how I did it legally, you know, and then point out that, no, there isn't a testimony of a police record or, hey, but this is how I did it legally. You know, and then I point out that, no, there isn't a testimony of a police record or how I went through that. And that's not saying, you know, woe for you who did, but that's saying, giving credit number one to my mother, who was a single mother, who really, she carried the big stick. But she believed it. I remember that saying, give credit number one to my mother, who was a single mother, who really, she carried the big stick. But she believed in me. I remember one day she was shaking and she said, you're going to be somebody. You know, a lot of times, no matter what other people say, I'll hear what my mother was saying when she said, you're going to be someone. So in society today, a lot of times, no matter what other people say, I'll hear what my mother was saying when she said, you're going to be someone. So in society today, we have what's called haters. Sometimes those haters can be your own family. You're going to be someone. So in society today, we have what's called haters. Sometimes those haters can be your own family. They can be people that are close to you. They don't do it intentionally. But it's a matter of they're looking at you saying, you're like Jesus. When they would say, that's Jesus. They don't do it intentionally. But it's a matter of they're looking at you saying, you're like Jesus. When they say, that's Jesus. That's Mary's son. That's Joseph's son. And that's Joseph's brother. You get what I'm saying? They know you so well so they can see you living at that level. But it's Joseph's son. And that's your brother. You get what I'm saying? They know you so well so they can't see you living at that level. But as long as you see yourself at that level, because that's the minute you see yourself well so they can't see you living at that level. But as long as you see yourself at that level, the minute you see yourself living at a greater level, then you'll be lighting up how God sees you living. But if you always see yourself, the minute you see yourself living at a greater level, then you'll be lighting up with how God sees you living. But if you always see yourself living below God's standard, there is no real spiritual or written out doctrine that says thou shalt be broke. That says thou shalt. There is no real spiritual or written out doctrine that says thou shalt be broke. That says thou shalt have just a little on his plate. No, everything about God's word is talking about you having more. It says thou shalt have just a little on his plate. No, everything about God's word is talking about you having more than enough and helping the poor. Not you being the poor. But I realized that I didn't want to be the poor, but I do want to help the poor. You know, I struggled in college. Therefore, I realized that I didn't want to be the poor, but I do want to help the poor. You know, I struggled in college. So therefore, I got educated. I made some money. I want to have others get educated and go to college. Struggled in college. So therefore, I got educated. I made some money. Now I want to have others get educated and go to college. That's really when you say being a godly millionaire. If you help the principles of God get educated and go to college. That's really when you say being a godly millionaire. If you help the principles of God, you got a work ethic, and you stuck to the integrity the way God would do it. That's all it is. Then there is, you know exactly what you have to do, the integrity, the way God would do it. That's all it is. And from there is, you know exactly what you have to do to make it, even in days of tribulation. James 1 tells us, count all joy. You know exactly what you have to do to make it, even in days of tribulation. James 1 tells us, count all joy when you fall into various tribulations, knowing that the testing of your tribulation. James 1 tells us, count all joy when you fall into various tribulations, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. So therefore, if you aren't a patient person, patience is a part of works. It's faith produce patience. So therefore, if you aren't a patient person, patience is a part of works. It's that your patience have this perfect work. So in the end, you be complete lacking person. patience is a part of works.
Right.
Let your patience have its perfect work.
Right.
So in the end, you'll be complete, lacking nothing.
Yes.
And once I understood and looked at that, I said, okay, I have to be patient. Some of you out there that's really hearing my voice right now looking at this, you just have to be patient. And looked at that, I said, okay, I have to be patient. Some of you out there that's really hearing my voice right now looking at this, you just have to be patient. But understand, patience means work. It does not mean sit there, voice right now looking at this. You just have to be patient. But understand, patience means work. It does not mean sit there and say, I'm waiting on the Lord. No, the Lord has already showed up. He did his part. He cleared the way. You just have to step out the boat and walk on water like Peter did. The Lord has already showed up. He did his part. He cleared the way. You just have to step out the boat and walk on water like Peter did. See, we know that Jesus could walk on water. You know, God just have to step out the boat and walk on water like Peter did. See, we know Jesus could walk on water. That, you know, that's God's son. We know this. But the real true miracle is when Peter did it. Amen. He was a mortal man, just like you and I. We can do the impossible. So we have to believe it. We have to follow the rules, meaning have knowledge and wisdom. That means don't go out dealing in business saying we have to follow the rules, meaning have knowledge and wisdom. That means don't go out dealing in business saying, well, God's going to do this for me. You don't have to even go out that way. You'll go system. That means don't go out dealing in business saying, well, God's going to do this for me. You don't have to even go out the way. You'll go study. You'll increase your knowledge. You'll increase your library. You'll understand what it means when the book says, who told you you were broke? Because somebody, you increase your library. You'll understand what it means when my book says, who told you you were broke? Because somebody is going to tell you you can't do it. You'll understand why I wrote schedule for success. Because somebody is going to tell you you can't do it. You'll understand why I wrote schedule for success. Because once I got people to understand that they were broke, that the treasure was in the heart, which is just God's word, then it was up to them to start scheduling the life for the advancement that they want.
Wow. That's some powerful nuggets that you packed in a lot in a little bit of time. And actually, we won't take a break, but when we come back, I want to pick up on the book, powerful nuggets that you packed in a lot in a little bit of time. And actually, we're going to take a break. But when we come back, I want to pick up on the book that you just mentioned, Scheduled for Success. I had a chance to read through that book and up on the book that you just mentioned, Scheduled for Success. I had a chance to read through that book and thank you for blessing me with that. Because again, there's a lot of practical principles. I think for a lot of people, we've heard the messages preached, but we haven't always heard the principles. I think for a lot of people, we've heard the messages preached, but we haven't always heard the practical steps that we marry to the message to get the full, but we haven't always heard the practical steps that we marry to the message to get the full effect of what God wants for our lives. So we'll take a quick break, but I appreciate you. You're sharing incredible knowledge. I want you to pick up on that topic of scheduled for success after our break. Again, you're watching Passion Action. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr. We'll be right back after these topic of scheduled for success after our break. Again, you're watching Passion Action. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr. We'll be right back after these brief messages. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr. We'll be right back after the brief messages. Hello, my name is Paul Wilson Jr., President of Kingdom Business University. I'm so excited to Hello, my name is Paul Wilson Jr., President of Kingdom Business University. I'm so excited to invite you on an incredible journey KB is about to go on. The President of Kingdom Business University. I'm so excited to invite you on an incredible journey that KB is about to go on. Transform lives spiritually and financially. We have God-given mission to launch Christian business incubators in cities around the United States and eventually around the world. God has given us an incredible vision to train at least 1 million kingdom entrepreneurs who understand their purpose and their calling, but also are exceptionally skilled at operating businesses that are financially blessed, as well as bring honor and glory to God. On this particular initiative that we are starting in 2013, we are launching the incredible vision to train at least 1 million kingdom entrepreneurs who understand the purpose and calling, but also are exceptionally skilled at operating businesses that are financially blessed, as well as bring honor and glory to God. On this particular initiative that we are starting in 2013, we are launching these Christian business incubators, and we're going to accomplish 3 goals. Number 1, we're going to train and develop Christian entrepreneurs. We're going to use the ancient principles of the Word of God blended together with 21st century business principles. And really, if we think about the things that we consider business best practices that work very well today, really the seed and root of them can all be found back in the Word of God. It will just make sense to use the Bible as part of our curriculum to train people on how to be successful entrepreneurs. Now, this curriculum, which actually contains all the essential elements needed to grow a prosperous, thriving business is going to be taught by our Kingdom Business University faculty who understand their purpose and their calling, but also are exceptionally skilled at operating businesses that are financially blessed as well as bring honor and glory to God. On this particular initiative that we are starting in 2013, we are launching the Christian Business Incubators. We're going to accomplish 3 goals. Number 1, that we are starting in 2013, we are launching these Christian Business Incubators, and we're going to accomplish 3 goals. Number 1, we're going to train and develop Christian entrepreneurs. We're going to use the ancient principle of incubators, and we're going to accomplish 3 goals. Number 1, we're going to train and develop Christian entrepreneurs. We're going to use the ancient principles of the Word of God, blended together with 21st century business principles. And really, if we think about the things that we consider business best practices that work 21st century business principles, and really, if you think about the things that we consider business best practices that work very well today, really the seed and root of them can all be found back in the Word of God. So just make that would be considered business best practices that work very well today. Really, the seed and root of them can all be found back in the Word of God. So it just makes sense to use the Bible as part of our curriculum to train people on how them can all be found back in the Word of God. So it just makes sense to use the Bible as part of our curriculum to train people on how to be successful entrepreneurs. Now, this curriculum, which actually contains all the essential elements needed to grow a prosperous stores. Now, the curriculum actually contains all the essential elements needed to grow a prosperous, thriving business is going to be taught by our Kingdom Business University faculty, which all the elements needed to grow a prosperous, thriving business is going to be taught by our Kingdom Business University faculty, which all of them are Christian business leaders who have been very successful in their career or in operating their own businesses. So we're very excited about have been very successful in their careers or in operating their own businesses. So we're very excited about goal number 1, which leads to goal number 2, which is to create jobs. What businesses? So we're very excited about goal number 1, which then leads to goal number 2, which is to create jobs. What we really have to recognize and understand, and which has really been evident in the last few years with so many people losing their jobs, is that jobs help give people a sense of dignity. Also helps give them a sense of value, in addition to some place where they can apply and utilize the gift, talent, and ability that God has given them. So we all need a job in some way, shape, some place where they can apply and utilize the gifts, talents, and abilities that God has given them. So we all need a job in some way, shape, form. So we want to create jobs, create opportunities through these businesses God has given them. So we all need a job in some way, shape, or form. And so we want to create jobs, create opportunities through these businesses to give people, again, that sense of dignity and value, also somewhere specific where they can plug in their talent and ability and be compensated for what they do. So a sense of dignity and value, but also somewhere specific where they can plug in their gifts, talents, and abilities and be compensated for what they do. So what better place to create jobs than to have a Christian entrepreneur be compensated for what they do? So what better place to create jobs than have a Christian entrepreneur be the one to create those jobs? So we want to transition people's mindset out of looking for a job into being job creators. And then number 3 is to advance the gospel. We want to transition people's mindset out of looking for a job into being job creators. And number 3 is to advance the gospel. We truly believe that in our assignment, as part of our vision of trainers, and number 3 is to advance the gospel. We truly believe that in our assignment, as part of our vision of training up these 1 million kingdom entrepreneurs, we're going to flood the marketplace with men and women of our assignment. As part of our vision of training up these 1 million kingdom entrepreneurs, we're going to flood the marketplace with men and women of God who understand their kingdom calling and assignment, but they're also very skilled and very good at what they do in terms of operating businesses that have products and services that people really want and that people are willing to pay for. So as we advance the gospel, these businesses will be incredible places also for discipleship to happen. So and a lot of great things can happen with these Christian-owned businesses. And I like the term CEO assignment, but they're also very skilled and very good at what they do in terms of operating businesses that have products and services that people really want and people are willing to pay for. So as we advance the gospel, these businesses will be incredible places also for discipleship and the people are willing to pay for. So as we advance the gospel, these businesses will be incredible places also for discipleship to happen. So and a lot of great things can happen with these Christian-owned businesses, and not incredible places also for discipleship to happen. So again, a lot of great things can happen with these Christian-owned businesses, and I like the term CEO, not Chief Executive Officer, but actually Christ Executive Officer. What could happen with the Christian-owned businesses, and I like the term CEO, not Chief Executive Officer, but actually Christ Executive Officer, or creators of economic opportunity, because that's what these businesses would be, and that's what we're helping transform these entrepreneurs into, creators of economic opportunity. So there's 3 things, that's what these businesses will be, and that's what we're helping to transform these entrepreneurs into, creators of economic opportunity. So there's 3 things I need for you to do today. Number 1 is pray. Anything significant that happens in the kingdom of God is preceded by prayer and is sustained by prayer. So we definitely need your prayers in this process. Number 2 is to promote. Tell many into creators of economic opportunity. So there's 3 things I need for you to do today. Number 1 is pray. Anything significant that happens in the kingdom of God is preceded by prayer is sustained by prayer. So we definitely need prayers and pray. Anything significant that happens in the kingdom of God is received by prayer and is sustained by prayer. So we definitely need your prayers in this process. Number 2 is promote. Tell as many people about this as possible. We are right now strategically partnered with organizations in Atlanta, Georgia, Chesapeake, Virginia, and San Diego, California. But we know we're going to be sustained by prayer. So we definitely need your prayers in this process. Number 2 is to promote. Tell as many people about this as possible. We are right now strategically partnered with organizations in Atlanta, Georgia, Chesapeake, Virginia. Tell as many people about this as possible. We are right now strategically partnered with organizations in Atlanta, Georgia, Chesapeake, Virginia, and San Diego, California. But we know we're going to be expanding to many other cities beyond that. Partner with organizations in Atlanta, Georgia, Chesapeake, Virginia, and San Diego, California. We know we're going to be expanding to many other cities beyond that. Hopefully your city is next. And number 3 is partnership. We need your financial partnership to help make this happen. So this initial campaign will help us to pay for the facility, production of our curriculum, the staffing that's going to be needed, in addition to KB faculty that will be providing the teaching coaching to these entrepreneurs. We are creating an atmosphere in these incubators that I truly believe are going to spark $1 million, billion-dollar ideas, the production of our curriculum, the staffing that's going to be needed, in addition to the KB faculty that will be providing the teaching and coaching to these entrepreneurs. We are creating an atmosphere in these incubators that I truly believe are going to spark $1 million, billion-dollar ideas, and you can be a part of helping make that happen. So join us today, as well as we have some great perks depending on your level of contribution. So please partner with us today financially, creating an atmosphere in these incubators that I really believe are going to spark $1 million, billion-dollar ideas, and you can be a part of helping make that happen. So join us today, as well as we have some great perks depending on your level of contribution. So please partner with us today financially. You'll learn more about this campaign as well as about the business incubators overall at kingdombusinessuniversity.com. Look forward to connect with you again very soon. God bless you. Ideas, and you can be a part of helping make that happen. So join us today, as well as we have some great perks depending on your level of contribution. So please partner with us today financially. You can learn more about this campaign. We have some great perks depending on your level of contribution. Please partner with us today financially. You'll learn more about this campaign as well as about the business incubators overall at kingdombusinessuniversity.com. Look forward to connect with you again very soon. God bless you. Welcome back to Passion in Action. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr. And very soon. Bless you. Welcome back to Passion in Action. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr. Hopefully you are enjoying this show. Welcome back to Passion in Action. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr. Hopefully you are enjoying this show, and just have a couple of housekeeping tips. Just want to remind you of one, of course, definitely we're taking your questions on the chat and through Facebook and Twitter, as well as through the send. Just want to remind you of one, of course, definitely we're taking your questions on the chat through Facebook and Twitter, as well as through the send note that you see right on your screen. So again, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free chat and through Facebook and Twitter, as well as the send note that you see right on your screen. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to engage us on the platform. I also want to encourage you, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to engage us on the platform. I also want to encourage you to subscribe to our newsletter, Passion Action. So again, gives you great tips, ideas, and updates to help you, again, maintain your momentum as it relates to turning your passion into purpose, into action. So we're talking about action, and we're talking about taking action. And the last thing I'll mention right now is that with the commercial you just saw, I'm so excited to be able to announce our partnership in Atlanta is with Metro Merge. So you'll see some graphics going by right there on the screen to help partner with us to help Metro Merge be the premier small business incubator, not just in Atlanta, but literally around the country. And so we're excited at King Business University can partner here locally in Atlanta with Metro Merge, and I'll be talking about that a little bit later. All right, so we'll continue our conversation with my special guest tonight, Paul D. Jones. Again, he is a millionaire, he's a man of God. He's a dedicated family man, as well as an author and an entrepreneur. And we're going to pick where we again give you great tips, ideas, and update to help you again maintain your momentum as it relates to turning your passion into purpose, into action. Tonight we're talking about action and talking about taking action. And the last thing I'll mention for right now is the commercial you just into action. Tonight we're talking about action. We're talking about taking action. And the last thing I'll mention for right now is with the commercial you just saw, I'm so excited to be able to announce our partnership in Atlanta is with Metro Merge. So you see some graphics going by right on the screen to help partner with us to help Metro Merge be the premier small business incubator, not just in Atlanta, but literally around the country. And so we're excited that King Business University can partner here locally in Atlanta with Metro Merge. I'll be talking about that a little bit later. All right. So I'll mention for right now is the commercial you just saw. I'm so excited to be able to announce our partnership in Atlanta is with Metro Merge. So you'll see some graphics going by right there on the screen. Our partnership in Atlanta is with Metro Merge. So you'll see some graphics going by right on the screen to help partner with us to help Metro Merge be the premier small business incubator, not just in Atlanta, but literally around the country. And so we're excited that King Business University can partner here locally in Atlanta with Metro Merge. I'll be talking about that a little bit later. All right. So we're going to continue our conversation with my special guest tonight, Paul D. Jones. Again, he is a millionaire, he's a man of God. He's a dedicated family man. Some graphics going by right there on the screen to help partner with us to help Metro Merge be the premier small business incubator, not just in Atlanta, but literally around the country. So we're excited that Kingdom University can partner here locally in Atlanta with Metro Merge in Atlanta, but literally around the country. And so we're excited that Kingdom University can partner here locally in Atlanta with Metro Merge. I'll be talking about that a little bit later. All right. So we're going to continue our conversation here locally in Atlanta with Metro Merge. I'll be talking about that a little bit later. All right. So we'll continue our conversation with my special guest tonight, Paul D. Jones. Again, he is a millionaire. He's a man of God. He's a dedicated family man, as well as he's an author and an entrepreneur. And we're going to pick up where we left off right before the commercial, talking about schedule for success. I know it's a book you wrote, so please share some. Pick up where we left off right before commercial, talking about scheduled for success. I know it's a book you wrote, so please share some principles that you learned in your process of becoming a millionaire and becoming successful. Yes, I know it's a book you wrote, so please share some principles that you learned in your process of becoming a millionaire and becoming successful as a businessman related to scheduling your life so that you could become successful.
Well, number one,
related to scheduling your life so that you could become successful.
Well, number one, I want to put out that the first book told you were broke. You know, I wrote. Well, number one, I want to put out that the first book told you were broke. You know, I wrote that book because I was working with a lot of people, and it seemed impossible before you actually make any money.
Right.
And once I hit a certain stature in life, or hit a certain economic level or financial level, I kind of look back and I was like, who said we couldn't do this?
Right.
Then when it comes time to scheduling, you know, I want people to know is I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. And I can teach you and talk to you from a standpoint of not only making $1 million,
right,
losing the $1 million.
Wow.
And it seemed impossible before you actually make any money.
Right.
And once I hit a certain stature in life, or hit a certain economic level or financial level,
right,
and once I hit a certain stature in life, or hit a certain economic level or financial level, I kind of look back and I was like, who said we couldn't do this?
Right.
Then when economic level or financial level, I kind of look back and I was like, who said we couldn't do this?
Right.
Then when it comes time to scheduling, you know, I want people to know is I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. And I can teach you and talk to you from a standpoint of not only making $1 million,
right,
losing, said we couldn't do this.
Right.
Then when it comes time to scheduling, you know, I want people to know is I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I can teach you and talk to you from a standpoint of I want people to know is I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. And I can teach you and talk to you from a standpoint of not only making $1 million,
right,
losing the $1 million.
Wow.
So
right,
I can teach you and talk to you from a standpoint of not only making $1 million,
right,
losing the $1 million.
Wow.
So that's
right,
one thing
right,
I want to put out there.
Right.
So once you get to a certain point, you have faith that God got you there.
Right.
Then I had to develop my undeveloped faith. And
good,
that's what takes you to the next level.
That's
so in
good,
the book Schedule for Success, I talk about developing your undeveloped faith. Because that's what gets you to another level. Schedule for Success, I talk about developing your undeveloped faith. Because that's what gets you to another level
right,
in life. So that you can learn from your mistakes.
That's
you know,
right,
I'll tell because that's what gets you to another level
right,
in life. So that you can learn from your mistakes.
That's
you know,
right,
I'll tell people what I did first of all is I would invest in anything that came my way.
right,
I wasn't asking
right,
for the business plans. I was just saying, you know, God bless me, here you go. And
right,
he come
right,
and give me food. Versus
right,
giving
right,
based on the just saying, you know, God bless me, here you go. And
right,
he become a
right,
giving fool. Versus
right,
giving
right,
based on the way God would say. You know, he
right,
would tell you, don't cast your pearls among swine
right,
because they're traveling to pieces. So therefore, on the way God would say, you know, he
right,
would tell you, don't cast your pearls among swine
right,
because they're traveling to pieces. So therefore, when you get back on point, that's when you really learn who your friends are. I
right,
got a little more private. I got a little more focused.
right,
And that's when we started to really learn who your friends are. I got a little more private. I got a little more focused.
right,
And that's when we started teaching more about business principles.
wow,
I got a little more focused.
right,
And that's when we started teaching more about business principles.
wow,
So in that, that's when you learn more about credit. You know, a lot of times people come to me more about business principles.
wow,
So in that, that's where you learn more about credit. You know, a lot of times people come to me because we have a company called My Financial Worth with all the JM Network partners out there. And they'll come to us and they'll say, you know what, I need to better my credit.
right,
But with the Rich Worth, with all the JM Network partners out there. and they'll come to us and they'll say, you know, I need to better my credit.
Right.
But what they're really saying is, I need to learn how to manage my daily budget. You know what? I need to better my credit.
Right.
But what they're really saying is, I need to learn how to manage my daily budget better. Because it's not about really you managing your credit. See, your daily budget is also on a schedule. And once you understand that, how much you managing your credit. See, your daily budget is also on a schedule. And once you understand that, how much you spend every day, so you have an income coming in, you make a decision to spend a certain amount every day. If you don't track that budget and actually see where your money is going, where your buying dollars are actually going, then you would end up at the end of the month not having enough money.
Right.
Now, that causes you not to be able to pay the bill because you didn't track your budget. So I teach in Schedule for Success the basic principles of how you got into the situation, so that once you get out of the situation, you'll never go back again. So you had faith to get the car. You had faith that you get that credit card. You had faith that you get all the other things. There were some other things about faith that were underdeveloped. Now when you develop the other side, then you're not only just moving with act. And once you understand that how much you spend every day, so you have an income coming in, you make a decision to spend a certain amount every day. If you don't track that budget and actually see where your money is going, where your buying dollars are actually going, then you would end up at the end of the month not having enough money. Going where your buying dollars are actually going, then you could end up at the end of the month not having enough money. Now, that causes you not be able to pay the bill because you didn't track your budget. So I teach in Schedule for Success. Now, that causes you not to be able to pay the bill because you didn't track your budget. So I teach in Schedule for Success the basic principles of how you got into the situation, so that once you get out of the situation, you'll never go back again. So you had faith to get a car. You had faith that you get that credit card. You had faith that you get all these other things. But there's some other things about faith that were under your budget. So I teach in Schedule for Success the basic principles of how you got into the situation, so that once you get out of the situation, you'll never go back again. So you had faith to get the car. You had faith that you get that credit card. The situation, you'll never go back again. So you had faith to get a car. You had faith that you get the credit card. You had faith that you get all these other things. But there's some other things about faith that were underdeveloped. Now you develop the other side, the other things. There were some other things about faith that were underdeveloped. Now when you develop the other side, then you're not only just moving with action, you're moving with the right course of action. Now when you develop the other side, then you're not only just moving with action, you're moving with the right course of action. So therefore, you're budgeting yourself daily, not just monthly. See, think about it. When you use your Visa check cards, you're budgeting yourself daily, not just monthly. You think about it. When you use your Visa check cards, for those that check card, they charge you every day. If you swipe the card today, use your Visa check card. For those with that card, they charge you every day. If you swipe that card today, at the end of the month, you'll get a lecture that tells you what date and what time you even swipe the card. So you have to be mindful that when you go to that gas pump, they're only going to charge you $1 at that time. If you aren't really working on the budget, then they're going to also charge you for not paying attention to your budget. So if you aren't really working on the budget, then they're going to also charge you for not paying attention to your budget. So all in all, what I'm saying is, people, when they come to us and say, we want credit, we're not paying attention to your budget. So all in all, Paul, what I'm saying is, people, when they come to us and say, we want credit repair, we already know it's like, oh no, you want a daily budget tracker. You want to learn how to manage your daily budget, so therefore you can pay off your debt. Oh no, you want a daily budget tracker. You want to learn how to manage your daily budget, so therefore you can pay off your debt. And then we show people how to get debt-free within 1/3 to 50% of the time faster, because or you can pay off your debt. And then we show people how to get debt-free within 1/3 to 50% of the time faster, because you're not paying all that interest every day on your debt. So you manage those two things, now at the end, because you're not paying all that interest every day on your debt. So when you manage those two things, now add in a credit monitoring system, a restoration system built in, now you're doing something way bigger. You're a credit monitoring system with a restoration system built in. Now you're doing something way bigger. You're developing your undeveloped faith. And what you have done, if you look at how you're doing something way bigger, you're developing your undeveloped faith. And what you've done, if you look at every day, you actually schedule every point of it into your life. So that's the difference, is everything we're doing, whether it's our health, our relationships with every point of it into your life. So that's the difference, is everything we're doing, whether it's our health, relationships with our family, with our friends, we have to schedule everything to work the way we view it to work. Therefore, when some things don't go as family, with our friends, we have to schedule everything to work the way we view it to work. Therefore, when some things don't go as planned, you can look at your schedule and say, we're a little off track, and then you get yourself back on track.
Right. That's good. And one thing, to build on what you're saying, that jumped out about your book as I read it, dealt with how thing, to build on what you're saying, jumped at me about your book as I read it, dealt with how, in this scheduling really is not just about your financial life, but about your whole life and how we navigate in every area of our lives. And it ends up impacting oftentimes our finances. But in many ways, our bad habits can in every area of our lives, and it ends up impacting oftentimes our finances. But in many ways, our bad habits can bleed over to many areas and end up impacting us negatively. And so talk about this.
What happens is you just become more responsible.
Right. And end up impacting us negatively. And so talk about this.
What happens is you just become more responsible.
Right.
And one thing that I say, and I challenge all kingdom children, we just become more responsible.
Right.
And one thing that I say, and I challenge all kingdom children, we as kingdom children, what that really means is we are supposed to have more integrity.
Right.
So therefore, when we look at things, as it says in Luke, count the cost before you build the tower.
Right.
Well, I learned from my mistakes. I'll tell people, it's like, I want to build a tower at one time, the biggest tower in the neighborhood. But I was saying, God's going to bless me. Well, no, God is blessing you with knowledge and wisdom and good common sense. But He's also telling you to forecast, pay attention to what's going on in the economy. Right. Now, that's not saying participate in a recession. Right. That's saying pay attention so that you'll never have to participate in a recession. So you have to forecast. If we know up here in Minnesota, there's a snowstorm up in Canada, and wind is blowing this way, the meteorologist or the forecaster on television, newsman, the weatherman will tell you this storm will challenge all kingdom children. We as kingdom children, what that really means is we are supposed to have more integrity.
Right.
So therefore, when we look at things, as it says in Luke, count the cost before you build the tower.
Right.
Well, I learned from my mistakes. I'll tell people, it's like, I want to build a tower at one time, the biggest tower in the neighborhood. But I was saying, God's going to bless me. Well, no, God is blessing you with knowledge, and we are supposed to have more integrity.
Right.
So therefore, when we look at things, as it says in Luke, count the cost before you build the tower. Right. Well, I learned from my mistakes. I'll tell people, it's like, I wanted to build a tower at one time, the biggest tower in the neighborhood. And I was saying, God's going to bless me. Well, no, God is blessing you with knowledge and wisdom and good tower. Right. Well, I learned from my mistakes. I'll tell people, it's like, I want to build a tower at one time, the biggest tower in the neighborhood. But I was saying, God's going to bless me. It's like, I want to build a tower at one time, the biggest tower in the neighborhood. But I was saying, God's going to bless me. God is blessing you with knowledge and wisdom and good common sense. But He's also telling you to forecast and pay attention to what's going on in the economy. Right. Now, that's not saying participate in a recession. Right. That's saying pay attention so that you'll never have to participate in a recession. So you have to forecast. If we know up here in Minnesota, there's a snowstorm up in Canada, and the wind is blowing this way, the meteorologist or the forecaster on television, the newsman, weatherman will tell you this storm will hit Minneapolis, Minnesota by this certain time the next day. And sure enough, as long as that weather pattern keeps going the way they said, then boom, that weather hits. Likewise, in your personal life, if you schedule certain habits and you keep doing certain habits, what you are actually doing is scheduling good weather. Let's put it that good. But I was saying, God's going to bless me. God is blessing you with knowledge and wisdom and good common sense. But He's also telling you to forecast and pay attention to what's going on in the economy. Now, that's not saying participate in a recession. That's saying pay attention so that you'll never have to participate in the economy. And that's not saying participate in a recession. That's saying pay attention so that you'll never have to participate in a recession. So you have to forecast. If we know up here in Minnesota, so that you'll never have to participate in a recession. So you have to forecast. If we know up here in Minnesota, there's a snowstorm up in Canada, and wind is blowing this way, the meteorologist or the forecaster on television, newsman, there's a snowstorm up in Canada, and the wind is blowing this way, the meteorologist or the forecaster on television, the newsman, weatherman will tell you this storm will hit Minneapolis, Minnesota by this certain time the next day. On television, the newsman, the weatherman will tell you this storm will hit Minneapolis, Minnesota by this certain time the next day. And sure enough, as long as that weather pattern keeps going the way he said, then boom, that weather hits. Likewise, in your personal life, if that weather pattern keeps going the way they said, then boom, that weather hits. Likewise, in your personal life, if you schedule certain habits and you keep doing certain habits, which are actually likewise in your personal life, if you schedule certain habits and you keep doing certain habits, what you are actually doing is scheduling good weather. Let's put it that way. You're scheduling positive things to happen for you. That's good. And this all means, number one, you sometimes have to clear the slate. You have to clean the slate. You can't do that without auditing your schedule. You have to really look at what your time is and say, okay, this is the slate. You can't do that without auditing your schedule. You have to really look at what your time is and say, okay, this is the time I have. And then instead of saying, see, I don't have time, Now you look at what your time is and say, okay, this is the time I have. And then instead of saying, see, I don't have time, now you look at the time and you make sure that the things that are really assets, meaning things that are going to add value to you, that's what stays on the schedule. Wherever else you're, that the things that are really assets, meaning things that are going to add value to you, that's what stays on the schedule. But wherever else you need to adjust, you make that adjustment because it's too adjusting to get your future the way you want it to. It's on the schedule. But wherever else you need to adjust, you make that adjustment because it's too adjusting to get your future the way you want it to go. And that's why we all need to schedule for success.
And that's powerful because the thing is, if we don't take the personal accountability schedule our own lives, others will schedule their life for us. And think about self-companies. Because the thing is, if we don't take the personal accountability schedule our own lives, others will schedule their life for us. Think about the cell phone companies.
It's happening every
all day long.
Day.
Absolutely.
We don't realize it.
Yeah, absolutely. Schedule their life for us. Think about the cell phone companies.
It's happening every
all day long.
Day. We don't realize it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, I want to talk a little bit all day long. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And so we'll take another quick break, but when we come back, I want you to talk a little bit about, because you mentioned making a lot of bad investments and throwing money after, bad ideas. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that are watching right now to figure out a lot of bad investment and throwing money after, bad ideas. There's a lot of entrepreneurs that are watching right now trying to figure out, do I have a good idea or a bad idea? Should I keep going or should I go do something else? How do I know if I have $1 million idea? Or right now trying to figure out, do I have a good idea or a bad idea? Should I keep going or should I go do something else? How do I know if I have $1 million idea or whatever? We want to talk about that when we come back. How to see who do something else. How do I know if I have $1 million idea or whatever? I want to kind of talk about that when we come back. How to see the business idea from God's perspective, from the right perspective, to know why I keep doing this or go do something else. Absolutely. So we're going to come back from the right perspective to know whether I keep doing this or go do something else. Absolutely. So we're going to come right back after these quick messages, and hopefully you are extracting a lot out of what's being. Absolutely. So we're going to come right back after these quick messages again. Hopefully you are extracting a lot out of what is being said tonight. Some very powerful words of wisdom, some very practical words of wisdom that you can take and apply immediately in many cases. So don't just let it roll off your back. Some very practical words of wisdom that you can take and apply immediately in many cases. So don't just let it roll off your back. Absorb it, hear it, and then go do something with it. You're watching Passion Action in many cases. So don't just let it roll off your back. Absorb it, hear it, and then go do something with it. You're watching Passion Action T. I'm Joseph Paulson Jr. We'll be right back after these brief messages. Back after these brief messages. Hello, my name is Paul Wilson Jr. I'm a dream catalyst passionate about and committed to igniting the body of Christ, maximizes God-given mission in the marketplace as employees and entrepreneurs. My passion compelled me to igniting the body of Christ to maximize God-given mission in the marketplace as employees and entrepreneurs. My passion compelled me to write the book Dream Big in 3D, How to Pursue a Bold, Innovative, God-Inspired Life. This book was written for the 97% of Christians who say they don't have consistent messages that link together their spiritual life and their work life. For the fortunate 3%, it will also help you too by affirming and confirming the path and direction God already has you on. Dream Big 3D will provide powerful inspiration and practical instruction to equip you with tools that you need to thrive in the work and the area of influence that employees and entrepreneurs. My passion compelled me to write the book Dream Big 3D, How to Pursue a Bold, Innovative, God-Inspired Life. This book is written for 97% of Christians who say they don't hear consistent messages that link together bold, innovative, God-inspired life. This book is written for the 97% of Christians who say they don't hear consistent messages that link together their spiritual life and their work life. And for the fortunate 3%, it will also help you too who say they don't hear consistent messages that link together their spiritual life and their work life. And for the fortunate 3%, it will also help you too by affirming and confirming the path and direction God already has you on. Dream Big 3D will provide powerful inspiration and practical instruction to equip you with the path and direction God already had you on. Dream Big 3D will provide powerful inspiration and practical instruction to equip you with tools that you need to thrive in the work and area of influence that God has already. Powerful inspiration and practical instruction to equip you with the tools that you need to thrive in the work and area of influence that God has already assigned to you. At the end of this message, you'll be able to do a special page and order Dream Big 3D, or just click on the link down below. Either way, it's my privilege to partner with you. You'll be able to do a special page and or Dream in 3D, or to click on the link down below. Either way, it's my privilege to partner with you to fulfill your purpose for God and to advance His kingdom in market. Either way, it's my privilege to partner with you to fulfill your purpose for God and to advance His kingdom in marketplace. I'm excited for your future, and I pray for your kingdom success as you fulfill God's purpose and plans for your life. God bless. For your future, and I pray for your kingdom success as you fulfill God's purpose and plans for your life. God bless. Goodbye. Welcome back, Passion Action. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr., and tonight our special guest is Paul Life. God bless. Goodbye. Welcome back, Passion Action. I'm your host, Paul Wilson Jr., and tonight our special guest is Paul D. Jones, a man of God, a kingdom entrepreneur, one who's a Life Jr., and tonight our special guest is Paul D. Jones, a man of God, a kingdom entrepreneur, one who has a lot of wisdom and insight, who teaches, who didn't just live it or have done it, but he teaches what he lives and teaches what has gotten him to certain levels. He teaches, doesn't just live it or have done it, but he teaches what he lives and teaches what has got him to certain levels of success. And so, again, we're definitely appreciative to have him on the show. And again, hopefully, he teaches what has gotten him to certain levels of success. And so, again, we're definitely appreciative to have him on the show. And hopefully, you're getting a lot out of this show tonight. And there's a quote I heard recently as we welcome Paul back to the show. A quote I heard recently, and it was it was an acronym of the word focus. And it was firmly on course until successful. And unfortunately, I believe an acronym for the word focus. And it was firmly on course until successful. And unfortunately, I believe there's a lot of entrepreneurs. Again, I can probably count myself in that camp at certain times where, and unfortunately, I believe there's a lot of entrepreneurs. Again, I can probably count myself in the camp at some times where we get an idea, we'll do that for a little while, then we see something else, we'll do that for a little while, see something else, we'll do that for a little while. That's not how you build wealth. That's not how you build a successful business. So talk that for a little while, then we see something else, we'll do it for a little while, see something else, go do that for a little while. That's not how you build wealth. That's not how you build a successful business. So talk about, again, principles that we need to be applying for those who build wealth. That's not how you build a successful business. So talk about, again, principles that we need to be applying for those who want to see business success or just life success, but in context of business, principles that we need to be applying for those who want to see business success or really life success, but in the context of business from that standpoint.
Well, number one, I always encourage people to make sure they have a team.
That's good.
You know, I can't do it without a team. Well, number one, I always encourage people to make sure they have a team.
That's good.
You know, I can't do it without a team. I may be the one in front of the camera, but have a great supporting staff. You know, I can't do it without a team.
Right.
You know, I may be the one in front of the camera, but I have a great supporting staff behind me.
Right.
And if you have supporting staff, you need every member of that supporting staff to totally sold out and believing with the end goal. So in a lot of my staff, you need every member of that supporting staff to totally be sold out and believing with the end goal. So, and a lot of my success is because I had great people like a William Lockett, like a young lady with the end goal. So, and a lot of my success is because I had great people like William Lockett, like a young lady, Shelley Golden, like Michaela, who's behind camera now. These are individuals who have supported me, whether it was financially, whether it's to making sure I show up someplace on time, or the camera now. These are individuals who have supported me, whether it's financially, whether it's to making sure I show up someplace on time, or that I have the peace of mind to go and study so that I can really make the right sense of others to make sure I show up someplace on time, or that I have the peace of mind to go and study so that I can really make the right sense of a decision. So as well as not to leave my wife out, who makes sure that the home life is held down. So that supporting cast always helps. Then from there, not to leave my wife out, who makes sure that the home life is held down. So that supporting cast always helps. Then from there is, once you pray, and you're truly not praying on it, but that supporting cast always helps. Then from there is, once you pray, and you're truly not praying on it, but as some people say, and make a terrible mistake, I can't even stand when I hear it, when I'm talking to people, and you're truly not praying on it, but as some people say, and make a terrible mistake, I can't even stand when I hear it, when I'm talking to people about business, and they say, well, I'm going to go pray on it. Well, my attitude is this, I've already prayed. So therefore, now when the revelation comes, my sheep know to pray on it. Well, my attitude is this, I've already prayed. So therefore, now when the revelation comes, my sheep know the places what the word says.
Good.
So
Yes.
it's a matter of, yes, pray that you be successful when the revelation comes. My sheep know the places what the word
That's
says.
good.
So
Yes.
it's a matter of, yes, pray that you be successful.
Right.
Pray to God to guide your steps,
Right.
but you have to still go and do the work. You know, there's an event up in the Twin Cities. So if anyone can get to Minneapolis, Minnesota, September 14th, this coming September 14th, we have an event called Wealth Day. Now, I want everybody to spread the word on this. This coming up September 14th, we have an event called Wealth Day. Now, I want everyone to spread the word on this because it's an incredible movement as well as an incredible event. And all they have to do is go to Wealth Day. I want everyone to spread the word on this because it's an incredible movement as well as an incredible event. And all they have to do is go to wealthday.com. It's real simple, wealthday.com.
Okay. Right.
Here's the point. I decided to put on Wealth Day by bringing in real entrepreneurs.com.
All right.
But here's the point. I decided to put on Wealth Day by bringing in real entrepreneurs, real godly multimillionaires. So September Day by bringing in real entrepreneurs, real godly multimillionaires. So September 14th, and these are guys who didn't grow up with a silver spoon, but today they're highly successful. So multimillionaires. So September 14th, and these are guys who didn't grow up with a silver spoon, but today they're highly successful. So to give you an example, a person could come to this 9 a.m. to 4:30, 5 o'clock all-day conference and learn from people who own $300 and $400 and $500 million companies. We're going to have over $1 billion silver spoon, but today they're highly successful. So to give an example, a person can come to the 9 a.m. to 4:30, 5 o'clock all-day conference and learn from people who own $300 and $400 and $500 million, 9 a.m. to 4:30, 5 o'clock all-day conference and learn from people who own $300 and $400 and $500 million companies. We're going to have over $1 billion worth of net worth in one room on September 14th in Bloomington, Minnesota. So you got to get your tickets. Over $1 billion worth of net worth in one room on September 14th in Bloomington, Minnesota. So you got to get your tickets. But you guys may know Famous Dave from the restaurant barbecue chain Famous Dave in Bloomington, Minnesota. So you got to get your tickets. But you guys may know Famous Dave from the restaurant barbecue chain Famous Dave.
Right.
So that's for Dave Anderson. This guy's company is worth over $500 million. He's going to be there. Dave Alexander Martin, the guy who's the co-partners in this guy's company is worth over $500 million. He's going to be there. Jay Alexander Martin, the guy who's the co-partner of Fubu. You see his partner on Shark Tank Damon.
Right.
But these guys started almost with a guy who's the co-partner of Fubu. You see his partner on Shark Tank Damon.
Right.
Well, these guys started almost with nothing.
Right.
Built up the largest urban clothing line, Damon.
Right.
Well, these guys started almost with nothing.
Right.
Built up the largest urban clothing line in the world up to worth over $400 million just there. So he's going to be at Wealth Day, September 14th. So all of those that say they want to be in fashion, all of those that say they want to have a restaurant or got this idea, that's $900 million just those two guys right there.
Right.
Then we add in Dr. Randall Pickett, who won Donald Trump's apprentice. He's the first African-American, I think the only, to actually win the apprentice. So you take Dr. Randall Pickett, just last year, I think his company did over $50 billion. So this guy's incredible. We all have the author of Fit, Fine, Fabulous, Dr. Laureen Wisham. You know, ladies, this woman is truly fit, fine. The largest urban clothing line in the world, up to worth over $400 million just there. So he's going to be at Wealth Day, September 14th. So all those that say they want to be in fashion, all of those that say they want to have a restaurant, he's going to be at Wealth Day, September 14th. So all of those that say they want to be in fashion, all of those that say they want to have a restaurant, they got this idea. That's $900 million just those two guys alone right there. Then we add in Dr. Randall Pickett, who won Donald Trump's apprentice. That's $900 million just those two guys alone right there. Then we add in Dr. Randall Pickett, who won Donald Trump's apprentice. He's the first African-American, I think the only, to actually win the apprentice. So when you take Dr. Randall Pickett, who won Donald Trump's apprentice, he's the first African-American, I think the only, to actually win the apprentice. So you take Dr. Randall Pickett, just last year, I think his company did over $50 billion. Actually win the apprentice. So when you take Dr. Randall Pickett, just last year, I think his company did over $50 million. So this guy's incredible. We also have the author of Fit, Fine, and Fabulous, Dr. Laureen Wisham. You know, ladies, this woman is truly fit, fine, and for Fit, Fine, and Fabulous, Dr. Laureen Wisham. You know, ladies, this woman is truly fit, fine, and fabulous. She's the $1 million solution. So when you want to learn, this woman is truly fit, fine, and fabulous. She's the $1 million solution. When you want to learn from a successful woman, businesswoman in this world, you need to be in to hear from a woman who created millions. It's not just talking about this one in this world. You need to be in to hear from a woman who's created millions. See, it's not just talking about it and believing it, but we had the faith there and went out and did it, as well as my good friends. See, it's not just talking about it and believing it, but we had faith there and we went out and did it, as well as my good friend who we co-hosted this event, Bishop Greg Davis. You guys may have seen him, and we went out and did it, as well as my good friend who will be co-hosting this event, Bishop Greg Davis. You guys may have seen him on the show Good News with Greg Davis, will always be in the house. And then last but not least, Miss Pam Perry out of Detroit, who's a social media guru, who will always be in the house. And then last but not least, Miss Pam Perry out of Detroit, who's a social media guru. If you truly believe and understand technology and being online, you will be there to hear Pam Perry, media guru. If you truly believe and understand technology and being online, you will be there to hear Pam Perry, because she's going to lay it all on the line for you and get you to understand the true responsibility of online marketing and branding. So for you, and get you to understand the true responsibility of online marketing and branding. So Paul, as I talk about success.
Yes.
When people come to events like Wealth Day, that's what they're going to get. They're getting each person going up. They're saying, when my company was going, when it got to $1 million, how we got from $1 million to, they're getting each person going up. They're saying, when my company was going, when it got to $1 million, how we got it from $1 million to $20 million. How we took that company from 20 million to 100 million and had God and faith in our hearts the whole time. See, I want to be able to show more successful individuals within the kingdom so people can see and say, hey, you know what? There is something to this. But more importantly, from 20 million to 100 million and had God and faith in our hearts the whole time. See, I want to be able to show more successful individuals in the kingdom so people can see and say, hey, you know what? There is something to this. But more importantly, we need that living example to show people what's what. So at Wealth Day, my goal would be to improve the lives of as many people as possible. The example to show people what's what. So at Wealth Day, my goal would be to improve the lives of as many people as possible. So I want them to go to Facebook.com/Wealth Day, like the page, tell their friends and family, and come on out. Paul, I invite you and team to come out. We really want to take this message of kingdom business and bring it to as many people as possible. So I want to go to Facebook.com/Wealth Day and like the page, tell their friends and family, and come on out. Paul, I invite you and the team to come out. We really want to take this message of kingdom business and brand it worldwide, especially within the United States, and say, hey, when the economy gets bad, message of kingdom business and brand it worldwide, especially within the United States, and say, hey, when the economy gets bad, they'll look at us and say, but it's not bad for them. That's about people in the United States, and say, hey, when the economy gets bad, they'll look at us and say, but it's not bad for them. That's about people creating a wealth. And it'll start one day. Wealth Day.
Wealth Day. Man, and that's so incredible. And that's why one that I love about what you're doing.
It will start one day. Wealth Day.
Wealth Day. Man, and that is so incredible. And that's why one that I love about what you're doing. I love your heart. Because you understand and recognize it's not even about the money. And that is so incredible. And that's why one that I love about what you're doing. I love your heart. Because you understand and recognize it's not even about the money, but it's about the kingdom. But we got to teach people about money in the heart. Because you understand and recognize it's not even about the money, but about the kingdom. We got to teach people about money in the kingdom to have the right perspective. You know, some people think money itself is evil, but the Bible doesn't say that. It says the love of money is the
You have people with the right responsibilities. You have to be able to go out and function.
The Bible doesn't say that. It says the love of money is the
You have people with the right responsibilities. You have to be able to go out and function in the world, not the world, but you still have to function in this world. We need to learn abilities. You have to be able to go out and function in the world, not the world, but you still have to function in this world. We need to learn how to do that without compromising your principles and your integrity. See, that's the difference. See, Jesus said, blessed is he who is not offended of me. So when you're working on rising your principles and your integrity, see, that's the difference. See, Jesus said, blessed is he who is not offended of me. So when you're working around the center, stop being offended. If anything, you got to have blessed is he who is not offended of me. So when you're working around the center, stop being offended. If anything, you got to have mercy and grace and compassion for them because they don't know. Wasn't it Jesus who said, Father, forgive them for they don't know? So we need compassion for them because they don't know. Wasn't it Jesus who said, Father, forgive them for they don't know? So we become the living example. So when they wrote the Bible, they weren't saying 1 John, forgive them for they don't know. So we become the living example. So when they wrote the Bible, they weren't saying 1 John this, they weren't saying Matthew this. Those guys were living it. We need to start living it so our children can start seeing a true living example of what prosperity is. Not a prosperity teaching, but a prosperity living for real ethical business. Not you just give to us. Always put, when they wrote the Bible, they weren't saying 1 John this, they weren't saying Matthew this. Those guys were living it. We need to start living it so our children can start seeing a true living example of what prosperity is. Not a prosperity teaching, but our children can start seeing a true living example of what prosperity is. Not a prosperity teaching, but a prosperity living for real ethical business. Not you just give to us. Always put people on blast. I made my money. So therefore it was ethical business. Not you just giving to us. Always put people on blast. I made my money. So therefore it wasn't that, had a church or anything like that. I teach because I love God. I made my money. So therefore it wasn't that I had a church or anything like that. I teach because I love God. I'm a business owner who is so thankful God blessed me that when I had nothing, I was thankful. And when I got something, I was thankful. My track record showed thankful that God blessed me that when I had nothing, I was thankful. And when I got something, I was thankful. And my track record shows it, but all kids are not going to college because of my company's blessings. So when I got something, I was thankful. And my track record shows it, but all the kids were not going to college because of my company's blessings. So when you take a guy, and I don't mean to just put this guy on point, but I have a business partner, William Lockett, he owns a trust in my company blessings. So when you take a guy, and I don't mean to just put this guy on point, but I have a business partner, William Lockett, he owns a treatment program in the state of Minnesota. William helps individuals get off of drugs. So it's like every Wednesday I get to go over there and just be able. William helps individuals get off of drugs. So it's like every Wednesday I get to go over there and it's just being able to teach these guys. People forgot about and say, you guys, every Wednesday I get to go over there and it's just being able to teach these guys. People have forgotten about and say, what you guys don't know. I go out of the love because that's where we can get in the trenches, get in the highways and byways. And I just say, hey, I'm this, I'm so-and-so, I made this much. Because that's where we can get in the trenches, get in the highways and byways, and not just say, hey, I'm this, I'm so-and-so, I made this much. But we can say, you know what, I'll show you step by step. I only have limited time to just say, hey, I'm this, I'm so-and-so, I made this much. But we can say, you know what, I'll show you step by step. I only have limited time to do that. People have to go to the wealth day, or they have to come to our Wednesday step by step. I only have limited time to do that. But people have to go to the wealth day. So they have come to Wednesday night 50 teachings for us to do that, because then I'm still a husband and a father, and I do own a company, and I want all my GMG Network partners to really work hard to do that, because then I'm still a husband and a father, and I do own a company, and I want all of my GMG Network partners to really work hard, because we have big things coming in the future. And Paul, I'm telling you, if people start scheduling, I want all of my GMG Network partners to really work hard, because we have big things coming in the future. And Paul, I'm telling you, if people start scheduling for success, and get a good mindset. And one thing that I'm getting this fall, I have a new book coming out called I Quit. So that's going to blow people away. Mindset. And one thing that I'm forgetting this fall, I have a new book coming out called I Quit. So that's going to blow people away. But really, just to give you a brief synopsis of it, and I think everyone get the point. So that's going to blow people away. But really, just to give you a brief synopsis of it, and I think everyone get the point. If you truly want to be successful, they're going to. But really, just give you a brief synopsis of it, and I think everyone get the point. If you truly want to be successful, there are going to be some things that you will have to quit. So for me, I made a decision to quit being broke. That entailed also in my mind. So for me, I made a decision to quit being broke. That entailed also in my mind. So many of us are broken in our mind, and we have such habits that there are things that we will have to quit in our mind. So many of us are broken in our mind, and we have such habits that there are things that we will have to quit. Because it's those things that are hindering us from growing to our future that's stopping us. See, I know I'm picking my rod up right now. And I'm saying, hey guys, I'm challenging all the spiritual teachers to come out, and we can show people step by step. The same way I do it is because when I first started struggling and built such habits, there are things that we will have to quit, because those things that are hindering us from growing to our future that's stopping us. See, I know I'm picking my rod up right now. And I'm saying, hey guys, and I'm challenging all spiritual teachers to come out, and we can show people step by step. The same way, and why I do it is because when I first all the spiritual teachers come out, and we can show people step by step. The same way, and why I do it is because when I first started struggling in business, there's really no one showing me the right way. Now, neighborhood dope dealer, he would show me how to do that. The neighborhood, when I first started struggling in business, there was really no one showing me the right way. Now, the neighborhood dope dealer, he showed me how to do that. The neighborhood, he would show me how to do that. But there was someone, and with that, now, we'll go to people and say, hey, I need to make more money, I want to buy this kind of house. He would show me how to do that. But there wasn't someone, and in fact, when I would go to people and say, hey, I need to make more money, I want to buy this kind of house, they would say, well, it's not all about that. It's like, but I prayed to God, and I said, God, this is the house I want. And then I got it, I stuck to God about that. I was like, but I prayed to God, and I said, God, this is the house I want. And then when I got it, I stuck to godly principles. And that's what I want to show people, so that we don't have children. And then when I got it, I stuck to godly principles. And that's what I want to show people, so that we don't have children locked up in prison, living lifestyles that shouldn't be living, believing in false prophets, or believing in creating idols, or also in the entertainment industry that a person made idol, and they would take them with false prophets, or believing in creating other idols, who are also in the entertainment industry that a person made idol, and they would take them away from a godly living. I want people to be truly free. And I want them to that a person made idol, and they would take them away from a godly living. I want people to be truly free. And I want them to be truly wealthy, all in one. By doing it right, by handling kingdom business, people to be truly free. And I want them to be truly wealthy, all in one. By doing it right, by handling kingdom business, keep God first. And I want to show people that you can, indeed, keep God first and be wealthy.
Amen. Well, definitely, I appreciate this.
Show people that you can, indeed, keep God first and be wealthy.
Amen. Well, definitely, I appreciate this. Is absolutely not enough time. Definitely pick your brain, but I definitely appreciate taking this time. Well, definitely, I appreciate this. Is absolutely not enough time. Definitely to pick your brain, but I definitely appreciate you taking the time that you did on tonight. Please give everyone your website. You talk about definitely pick your brain, but I definitely appreciate you taking the time that you did on tonight. Please give everyone your website. You talk about Wealth Day, but your website and contact information. They can go find your books online and get in touch with you in any other way.
Absolutely. They can go to pauleyjones.com. That's PAULYJONES.
And get in touch with you in any other way.
Absolutely. They can go to pauleyjones.com. That's PAULYJONES.com. You can get my book, sign up for my weekly e-zine. You can also go to paulyjones.com. That's paulyjones.com. You can get my book, sign up for my weekly e-zine. You can also go to wealthday.com. Get yourself registered for Wealth Day right now, because it's all about investing in your mind. If you refuse to invest in your mind, then self-register for Wealth Day right now, because it's all about investing in your mind. If you refuse to invest in your mind, then how do you think someone else will invest in you? Like I said, there's $1 billion. If you refuse to invest in your mind, then how do you think someone else will invest in you? Like I said, there's $1 billion in the room. Show up with a plan and learn how to execute your plan. Will invest in you. Like I said, there's $1 billion in the room. Show up the plan and learn how to execute your plan from people who have succeeded with plans similar to yours. From there, guys, I bless you. Thank you, Paul, for your time and your friendship more with plans similar to yours. From there, guys, God bless you. Thank you, Paul, for your time and your friendship, more importantly, because that's what this is all about. And everyone go out and make more friends, get connected to people who are moving forward in life, and make sure that you keep God first as you do it.
Amen. Well, definitely, again, I pray special blessing.
Thank you, Paul, for your time and your friendship, more importantly, because that's what this is all about. And everyone go out and make more friends, get connected to people who are moving forward in life, and make sure that you keep God first as you do it.
Amen. Well, definitely, again, I pray special blessing over your ministry, your business, all that you're doing, because, again, we need to see more kingdom leaders like yourself, especially in special blessings over your ministry, your business, and all that you're doing, because, again, we need to see more kingdom leaders like yourself, especially in business, who are doing God's way and super successful. To see more kingdom leaders like yourself, especially in business, who are doing it God's way and super successful, but, again, are able to handle themselves with the integrity that God expects us to. In the process. So I definitely appreciate your friendship also. And we'll be in touch soon. And again, integrity God expects us to in the process. So I definitely appreciate your friendship also. And we'll be in touch soon. And again, keep doing what you're doing. And we'll stay in touch, all right?
Amen. God bless.
And we'll be in touch soon. And again, keep doing what you're doing. And we'll stay in touch, all right?
Amen. God bless.
God bless. Take care. So again, you heard the man himself. We'll stay in touch, all right?
Amen. God bless.
God bless. Take care. So again, you heard the man himself, incredible man of God, incredible man committed to his family, committed to God. You heard the man himself, incredible man of God, incredible man committed to his family, committed to godly principles, committed to doing things right. And I believe if there's anything that you can take away from tonight, as I kind of close with our big idea, is you doing things right. And I believe if there's anything that you take away from tonight, as I kind of close with our big idea, is you have to do things right. If we go back to the book of Genesis, when God was speaking to Cain after he killed Abel, he said, basically told, if you do things right way, if we go back to the book of Genesis, when God was speaking to Cain after he killed Abel, he said, basically told him, if you do things the right way, you will be accepted. And if you look at all the way through the Bible, there is a right way and there's a, he said, basically told him, if you do things the right way, you will be accepted. And if you look at all the way through the Bible, there is a right way and there's a wrong way. The shortcut way is not the right way, because the Proverbs tells us there is a way all the way through the Bible. There is a right way and there's a wrong way. The shortcut way is not the right way. The Proverbs tells us there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end there leads to death. Many people have taken the way that seems right to a man financially has led to their death financially, led to the death of the dream, leads to death. Many people have taken the way that seems right to a man financially and has led to their death financially, or led to the death of their dream, or their marriage, or in other cases, death of other relationships. There is a way to their death financially, or led to the death of their dream, or their marriage, or in other cases, death of other relationships. There is a way that God has prescribed for us to prosper. There's a way that God has prescribed for us to be blessed. It's found in Matthew 6:33. It says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else we added unto us. Well, what's everything else? Oftentimes we think that's a bare minimum. We think that's just to barely kind of get by, just prosper. There's a way God has prescribed for us to be blessed. And it's found in Matthew 6:33, where it says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and then everything else will be added unto us. What is everything else? Oftentimes we think that's a bare minimum. We think that's just barely kind of get by, just barely pay the bills, but no. Well, what is everything else? Oftentimes we think that's a bare minimum. We think that's just a barely kind of get by, just barely pay the bill, but no. God is God of abundance. God is God of wealth. Why in the world would he own cattle on 1,000 hills and keep them from you? You know, why in the world would he own the universe, but only want you to get a wealth? Why in the world would he own the cattle on 1,000 hills and keep them from you? You know, why in the world we own the universe, but only want you to get the dust off the ground? That doesn't make any sense. God is not a deadbeat dad that can't pay his child support. We own the universe, but only want you to get the dust off the ground. That doesn't make any sense. God is not a deadbeat dad that can't pay his child support. He loves his children and he loves you. And if he's given you a purpose, put you on the planet, and put ideas and concepts in your heart and your mind, he loves you. And if he's given you purpose, put you on the planet, and put ideas and concepts in your heart and in your mind, he wants you to use them to prosper, because it makes him look good in the process. So we have ideas and concepts in your heart and in your mind. He wants you to use them to prosper because it makes him look good in the process. So we have to understand, have a better idea how God wants to flow through us, operate in us. But again, we got to do it the right way so that God will have no problem dumping even financial blessings on us as we shine for his glory in the earth, not for your glory. He mentioned how God wants to flow through us, operate in us. But again, we got to do it the right way so that God will have no problem just dumping even financial blessings on us as we shine for his glory in the earth, not for your glory. He mentioned it's not about us, how do I make an idol out of myself? How do I build a kingdom for myself? That's the wrong focus. That's the world's perspective. Our perspective is how to make Jesus famous. And if I make Jesus famous by building a multi-billion-dollar business, okay, then that's the idea, that's the concept, that's the business plan that I want to follow. Hopefully, you want to follow something like that also. So that's our big idea. Do things the right way, and God will accept you, not just accept in terms of love, but accept in terms of helping you blow up, basically, if I just put it like that. But again, do things the right way, allowing you to